the name of the game now for the past few days. And guys, without any further ado, since my brother is not here and I'm casting for you in the south, in the blue, it is gonna be Vortix playing as the Rus. The map is Dry Arabia, by the way, and we're gonna enjoy this magnificent matchup. In the north, in the red,
we have Erik also playing as a Rus, so it's a mirror mashup on Dry Arabia. So basically, it's gonna be the name of the game is gonna be whoever gets more game killed, basically.
Yeah. And by the way, it is not actually north and south; it is like east and west. So just kind of to be clear, I think I started the game with the map being tilted slightly, but this being said, yeah, this is gonna be a huge contest for those deer indeed and the wolves as well. I think Vortix misses this one, which is not really what you want to do, especially that they probably know this map by heart, so they know where the wolves are. Those do appear in those rather fixed positions, by the way, so you can actually know if you have played enough, if you have like some sort of a mapping done in your head, you can essentially just go towards those fixed locations and pick up those wolves. Now, Vortix misses everything, by the way. He misses the deer. You should kind of notice them here. And you read, this is kind of a very competitive game because both those players need to get to 250 bounty. And the sooner they get this done, the better, of course. I'm not really sure why. Vortix, because he sees this on the map, he just doesn't go for those there. So you have like 70 bounty so far for Vortix and just 15 for Erik. Erik hasn't really found a single hunt yet, which is really scary for him because he obviously needs to get some sort of kind of hunt going for himself. He has to find those two here. Also, by the way, 2 wolves, so it's not terrible. It's not the end of the world because he finds those 2 wolves and he kind of gets this hunt down is going to be great. However, Vortix is on the pathing here, trying to get to this hunt as well, so it's going to be quite nasty for Erik to contest it against Vortix's scout. He might need to pull an additional scout here to just make sure that he can secure this. He probably doesn't even... Does he see this? He probably sees this. Yeah, he knows there's an actual scout of his opponent. He's going to immediately probably pull a... No. He should be pulling a scout to this, I think, because obviously this is not a fight you can take with tools attacking you, and obviously Vortix is... Have you seen those attack cancels? But this is just insanity. He has been just absolutely pounding at that scout of Erik. Look at this, like, he's gonna get another auto. Look at this, is absolutely crazy. That's just so much. This micro is just absolutely insane. So Vortix really doing something magical here. They're getting those auto attack cancels rolling. That's just absolutely beautifully done. And he's just gonna secure this hunt for himself, at least until those 2 scouts arrive, or they do arrive very late. So he's just going to take the majority of the hunt, just run away. And this means that probably he's gonna put Erik at a slight disadvantage in terms of hunting, because you have to say, like, you know, Vortix is sitting at 250 bounty, which is what you shoot for as the Rus, and Erik is like halfway through almost, you'd like to say. 155, he needs way more than he has.
I think he's gonna get... No, he already did deliver those wolves to these.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Oh my god, that's a really big disadvantage. That's a really big disadvantage.
He needs more. He needs more than this. He needs way more. He's gonna get those... Oh no! It is Vortix actually getting the scout killed. He's actually gonna run away with those wolves as well. So it's actually gonna be huge advantage for Vortix. He managed to get home with these. Because this essentially means that, yeah, he has like everything under control. So Erik is going to get 1 wolf here, but those are going to be 2 additional wolves going towards Vortix. It's just terrible. And he also does kill a scout in the process. So Vortix is really far ahead.
Vortix is actually going to have around 300 bounty, right? If he gets those wolves, and he will get those wolves.
He has sheep as well. So he's going to be like 350, I think, overall, maybe, if he manages to get everything in order. And this scout does actually survive this. Like, those wolves are obviously going to get home. Those 2 scouts are just going to try to chase and not get much done. And I guess, like, Vortix is just going to be super far ahead, you know, after this game. You might even actually, you know, see Erik forced into, if he wants to go for it, of course, going for that, what the hell is that called? The trade house, high trade house, right? He might not be able to just contest without getting contest his opponent without getting those game kills. He's super far behind.
Also, his sheep count was not really that high, right?
No. He gets 30 out of the sheep. He needs an additional 40 gold. He's gonna get 25 here, unless those scouts actually manage to pin down this wolf, which is possible, by the way. But I do think he's gonna just make it home. I would say, like, especially if this scout here is gonna... Oh, no. Oh, he gets it. That's very fortunate. He needed this. He really needed this to survive. The problem is still here that he needs to get an additional like something, right? A little something to work with this. He needs like a little bit more gold. He essentially needs like once he executes all those sheep, he still needs he's gonna need like 15, I think, 15 extra bounty, which is very unfortunate because he was not able to make it to this hand here on time to contest it. So this just sets him very far behind. So Vortix very comfy here, I think, sitting with a decent kind of decent opening, getting lots of things done, dropping the question mark stable here, which is gonna be probably a sign of aggression from him, I guess. He's gonna probably try to contest those deer using
kill those scouts.
The horsemen, yeah, just killing the scouts.
No, it's
off.
Actually stable for both sides going down. So it's stable for Vortix and stable.
No, there's a 2 archery ranges. There's a 2 archery ranges already. Yeah, he's gonna go double archery range drop to just try to secure and defend those deer, which is obviously I think a good idea. Vortix, by the way, slightly ahead on the timing here. He is gonna get those deer first. And I'm not really sure how many scouts Erik is working with, just 4, I guess. Yeah, against Vortix is also just 4. Okay, that makes sense. So, equal numbers here that he's gonna try to get those deer back home, of course. I do think this is gonna be a very nice opening. It's gonna be early knights, by the way, for Vortix. So Vortix is gonna get like a nice advantage because archers don't really fight well against early knights. There's gonna be a nice kind of an opening, I think, for Vortix in this game.
Absolutely, those early knights actually shred archers. They're basically like royal knights from French, but they can't heal.
Yeah, and they don't have extra charge damage.
Yeah,
they're like essentially shitty version of the early knights of the French.
I mean, until Castle Age, they're basically the same except for the healing, and in the Castle Age, their charge is not as good.
Yeah. So you can see actually that's good for Vortix. He's gonna contest those scouts. There are also some scouts from Vortix here just kind of guarding this hunt. So this means like if there is an attempt from Erik to actually get any of those deer home, he's not gonna have a nice time with this. He's definitely not gonna have a nice time with this. So because those are like 4 scouts. Like this means that if you try to do something about this as Erik, you're just gonna get absolutely shafted by those scouts. And if you are trying to contest,
Mike, does Erik have professional scouts already or not?
Yeah, he should. I mean, he did research this, I think. No, he actually does. Wait,
he doesn't.
No way. He hasn't gone for pro scouts at all. That's a big WTF question here. Like question mark, question mark, question mark. An enemy is missing. An enemy is missing. What is he doing?
And he's making scouts still.
Maybe that's a bug. I can't believe that he has no pro scouts.
He's fighting early knights with scouts as well.
Maybe he just wanted to. Oh, that's a massacre, by the way. So those knights just absolutely dismantled those scouts. Well, I think he was just trying to delay his opponent. He built those scouts not to actually go for the deer. He's just gonna go for like some sort of combat opening here. He's gonna get like a mass of archers here, but I'm not necessarily too sure about like archers versus knights. Archers versus scouts, I do obviously give an advantage to those archers, but like you have to get like a nice mass of spears to contest the knights, and preferably like a blacksmith, because otherwise those archers just kind of do 1 damage or 2 damage per shot. That's not
and those early knights are gonna go into the wood line of
They're gonna
Erik,
get 2 kills at least, I think, 2 kills, maybe 3 even actually at this rate. I think you have to back away after this, so probably not something you can do. 2 kills is enough though. That's very nice. That's very nice. 2 kills down, and you also get like some sort of kind of tool from those villagers, so delay that mining a little bit. Not bad. This side completely lost in space and time, though. Is gonna just get absolutely demolished here. But it does actually take a while for those units to kill a knight, you have to say.
Absolutely. It's also Erik is probably gonna run out of food under his TC really soon, so he cannot go into the Castle Age having made so many units, right?
Oh, he's not gonna go. There is no Castle Age for Erik. No. He's gonna go for like a full offense.
Vortix can actually do whatever because he has maybe 4k food under his TC.
He can do whatever unless there is a ram ranch. Like look at this army. It's not a small force. It's like quite a large army actually from Erik. And Erik is going to probably just force a fight here. Obviously, this is like 7 knights from Vortix. You can see how this matchup has evolved. So it used to be a Castle Age rush. That is essentially just, very early fights from both sides. Like they're all trying to force something, where you're going to try to make something happen. This knight is going to completely surround it and just absolutely demolish. Yeah,
for sure, it was
very nicely done. Definitely like a mistake from Vortix, of course, like a micro mistake. Yeah. So I'm not really sure how well those knights will do against this, but I'm not really sure Erik knows either, because Erik is just gonna back away.
I think that those knights cannot charge into that number of spears because they'll just get killed, basically.
Yeah.
But they can still cycle around, maybe try to go for some eco damage on Eric's woodline or some stuff like that. And we can already see that one knight. I think it's a...
Is it a rally?
It was not spotted. I think it's a rally mistake.
Oh,
It
no,
is a rally
that's
mistake.
That's very bad for Vortix. Obviously, losing knights, and if you're under siege, is bad. And I don't think this is like actually something you can win unless you get like a nice archer master yourself. You need to get like a lot of archers, like 10, 15 archers, I think, to deal with those spears efficiently. And again, Vortix is gonna try to go for some sort of an attack. I think he must have been spotted actually. I think Erik knows what's up, but I'm not really sure how much he has. Yeah, he knows. Look, he has some spearmen in the tree line, in the wood line actually. So he's going to have some sort of defensive measure here available to him.
But at least one villager is still gonna die. At least
of
one
course,
villager.
Yeah. But I think he's just gonna get those. Yeah, one villager drops two. Actually, it's a very nice hit and run accident here with the villager. Gets absolutely shredded by those knights, and they do get away. So it's a nice opening here, of course. I think like 4 villagers down already, which is obviously quite good. Vortix on the other hand does manage to pull away with his unit. So those archers, actually, he's not paying attention. He's gonna probably lose a villager here, maybe. 2 of those archers, yeah, 1 villager, 2 villagers, I think maybe even 3 are gonna go down. There's gonna be a trade here, so those archers, I'm not sure why he's moving them in so deep, because there are some archers from Vortix here. There's a 3-4 villagers going down right now, I think, from that, but there are also a lot of casualties among the archers here, so that's definitely not a nice trade. Also, Vortix is gonna get something done on the other side of the map, just taking over this woodline completely, and he's gonna
trading archers for archers.
He's gonna actually destroy those units very, very hard. He is going to. I think this is very nice trading from Vortix already. Like he has actually he lost some knights, but he did kill like additional 4 villagers or 3 villagers here. So Vortix is working with. So Erik is sitting in 29 villages, 37 for Vortix. So as I said, very efficient trading.
Exactly, and basically at the same time that Erik was killing villagers in Vortix's base, Vortix was actually killing spears and villagers
yeah.
in his
and he was not losing too much.
Base.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Those knights are gonna return now. They're gonna try to get a nice flank on this. I don't think they can fight it because they're like super harm. Like they're super hurt.
Yeah.
So they just get. I think this is just a terrible move.
Oh no,
that's 4 knights. That's just for nothing.
Going down.
That is absolutely terrible for Vortix. Just not paying attention to this massive kind of chunk of resources. We have to say like those are like. This is a lot of resources lost, right? Essentially, like almost 1,000, like 900 something resources just gone with the wind.
Absolutely.
For nothing. That's just terrible trade. You don't want to lose those knights. Like even though they don't heal, obviously they can just be used in the normal engagement. So I think overall, of course, Vortix does hold an advantage here because he is working with. Also, like look at the food bank for Vortix.
Absolutely, that's what I was saying. That those professional scouts did pay off, and they are still gathering carcasses from all around the map, right?
Yeah.
Because since Erik is not contesting them, they can just return later, sneak those carcasses, and return back home. And that's maybe, that's 1,800 food per trip, basically.
Yeah.
Those 4 scouts.
And the thing is, Erik is super committed, right? So Vortix goes up to the castle age, like he's just gonna click and build that Abbey of the Trinity. I'm not really sure how much can Erik get done. I mean, this is a large army. Don't get me wrong. This is actually a very, very decent force. He doesn't have the ram ranch though. He cannot actually just kind of attack these this infrastructure. So
that's exposed gold. That is exposed gold.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, Vortix doesn't realize this. He's gonna. Oh, he actually does pull away on time. He's just gonna lose 1 villager for his trouble, maybe 2 in fact.
2.
That's not bad, obviously, if you're behind. But there is also something happening on the other side. When there's actually nice attacking those villages in the berries. 2 for 4 villages dead for 2 is actually very, very good trade. So again, Vortix just pulling the trigger, just getting things done. He might actually lose those knights again because he's not paying attention to them too much. He loses 1 to the spearman. He pulls the rest away. He's just gonna be denied the gold access. He's gonna probably lose those. Actually, those spears are enough to actually attack this. I think it's kind of interesting to see this evolution where people just kind of try not to get rams too much. Like they instead of going for rams, they just go for like large spearman mass and they just attack and auto cancel against the buildings. This is gonna work. But there are 2 additional villagers falling here for Erik. So Vortix is absolutely just smashing this matchup.
But Vortix actually realized that there's nothing that knights can do at home. So he just basically sent them to Erik's base, and he did find a lot of picks.
I mean, he realizes also he's okay at home, because there's nothing that can actually, on the side of Erik, that can fight this mass of archers that Vortix has managed to pull together. And he's actually getting that upgrade probably somewhere. No, not yet actually.
He's not missing crossbows. He's making crossbows actually right now.
I'm not sure why.
It's quite interesting.
Because there's nothing like heavy coming from. Maybe he thinks that Erik is gonna go up as well, but Erik is nowhere near. Erik is actually just super screwed because he has no food access at all. He's just a few of those measly farms. He's dead. I think Erik is just dead altogether. Like not going for professional scouts. I mean, he could have had all this food at his home. Like he could have had all those deer. Like these for I mean 14 deer actually. Because I don't think there's like a feasible way to contest those. He just doesn't go for it at all. He's just going to lose this game because he was just too reluctant to go for the upgrade, I think. You have to go for Pro Scouts against another Rus player because you just kind of get super far behind otherwise. He's going to go for Rams right now. I do think this is too late. Because Vortix is going to get the veteran off.
Actually, Vortix was making crossbows because he thought that the opponent was going to make some... Knights, right? This was the natural way to do, right? The opponent is spamming archers, so he just makes in 2 or 3 knights and to just tank those shots, right? But right now,
I'm not sure what my camera is doing actually. Oh, it was not free camera. Okay, so I was just trying to see the Ram. So the Ram is actually going to start hitting the Golden Gate. Very bad choice of targets, I think, because there is nothing you gain from killing the Golden Gate. What you can gain. Like the possible gains are only in those archery ranges. I think that's the major kind of objective for you. But those are veteran Rus archers. I'm not really sure how much you can do. Look at how fast they're actually dealing with the Ram. Because they have some upgrades as well, so they're actually very fast at disposing.
It's the crossbowman actually. Is the crossbowman dealing so much damage to the Rams because they have slight damage bonus?
Actually, Vortix is just gonna go mano a mano against this. I don't think this is something that you can do. You don't have numbers advantage yet, so there's a man at arms here actually for Vortix just trying to defend this. I'm not really sure if you want to be fighting this yet. I would honestly just prefer. I'm not really sure those villagers are doing either. What are they actually walking into? This is a terrible move from Vortix. Vortix is gonna lose a lot of those units. Actually, there's a TC that is not shooting too much at those archers at all. I'm not really sure like, what exactly the move is. This is I mean, this is still a win for Vortix, I think, because he's actually defending this in terms of like kind of just killing or thinning out the enemy numbers, but he's not gonna do this too cleanly. He could have definitely waited a little bit, just got some extra units and then fought this, because there is no time pressure here. Like if you lose this Golden Gate, so what? Like this is something that you have like time to rebuild later. The scouts are actually gonna try to very kind of hard tunnel on the Rams, and they do get 1 for the price of 2 scouters. I think very much worth it. And those men-at-arms are actually just working against those archers right now. There are 3 men-at-arms, very difficult to kill for archers, and those are very hard archers as well. The TC is gonna help, and I do think there's gonna be the halt for Vortix overall. He has like a nice, I think it was just very good micro against all odds, and Vortix is still he's still raiding those berry bushes, which is quite funky.
Yeah. Exactly, because Erik is out of food, so he has to either farm or use those berries.
And Erik is trying to completely ignore those men-at-arms, by the way, which is kind of funny, but he can't do it forever. He's gonna try to thin out the village in numbers. But you have to say, though, Vortix is actually sitting on 1900 wood, so you can definitely just gotta start farming behind this. So he finds like a small window to start doing this. And Vortix just loses 600 wood in those Rams, so it's obviously not optimal at all.
And Erik is just targeting builds now. He knows that this push is over. So
yeah, but he does kill some of those. Like he thins out the villager numbers, but I don't think he has enough to kind of make up for it. This is like he does have a decent villager number, but he does have food to go up. I don't think Erik has the ability to go up yet. He's very far away from that actually.
He has literally gold, and that's about it because he's spending all this wood and all this food on something else.
The problem for the feudal armies. The problem for the feudal armies.
The perspective, like.
Yeah, okay. The problem for the feudal armies is that they don't have like a nice response to those men-at-arms, because in Castle Age you obviously get those crossbows who work very nice against men-at-arms. Like you can just demolish those, and that's that. But here it's just not the greatest situation. Obviously, that's what really sets you behind. If you are a tier of the technology behind, I think those archers who are upgraded, they don't make that much of a difference, because it's still kind of possible to trade equally against that. It's not possible to win against those men-at-arms. There are just so many of them now. So I don't think Erik has anything.
That's 5 pierce armor against 6 pierce attack of the archers. So either they would be dealing 1 damage per volley, right? I mean per shot. And Vortix is actually just playing it slowly, getting those relics. He already has 1, and he's just getting those other relics on the map. And there's nothing Erik can do actually to stop him.
No, he's got, because those men-at-arms, I think they move. I'm not really sure about the movement speeds, but the way you cannot just shoot and move, right, as those archers, because then you just either get out, like, it's 1.12 speed for those MAAs and 1.25, so the archers are slightly faster than men-at-arms actually, which is logical because they are in heavy armor. But you just run those archers into the enemy base and that's it. I think he was trying to find some extra damage in the end. He just doesn't get anything done. And there are extra men-at-arms here in the middle of them. I'm just kind of cutting off any reinforcements. I think Erik is just completely dead, man. He is as dead as one can be. And it is going to probably just the matter of a few extra seconds before
I think Erik is gonna try to click up actually. Erik is gonna try to click up, deal as much damage as possible, click up and maybe try to hold.
But how do you hold against this many men-at-arms? This is like 12 of them right now. You have nothing. You have 2 barracks, but getting the numbers up is gonna be really hard. He pulls every single villager in creation to get this Abbey of the Trinity up. I'm actually curious, does he have enough? He still doesn't have the bounty, by the way. He still doesn't have the bounty. Which he could have got because he needed to kill a single ball, essentially, to get that.
Yeah, and he had the numbers of archers to actually kill that ball.
Walk by, kill a ball, and I don't think he had the presence of mind to do so, though. That's the problem for him. He just had no... he's actually also... he chopped this woodline completely, right? That's another problem. And yeah, you can get some crossbows out. I think that's the play, right? You just get some crossbows and you pray that you can just kind of hold on. I'm not really sure how well this crossbow is gonna work. You can also try to get the... I think that would be a nice play, but he doesn't have the stone. Getting that Springle would be great, because Springles are actually very good. Like, the emplacements, they do so well against men-at-arms, and against knights as well, actually. So, getting that would be quite cute, but he just doesn't have any resources to spare, and I think he's just gonna get massacred here.
And right now there's a base in his eco, I'm sorry, a knight in his eco, and there are men-at-arms in his eco, and those crossbows can't really, you know, hold their ground.
I mean, to give you justice, there is a base in his eco, I agree with you. And there are also men-at-arms, you're like doubly right, there is no way to deny any of your statements. Yeah, that's just kind of the way things are. He has those, I think crossbows can eventually just clean this up, but obviously like losing the time for those villagers and losing a few of those is obviously gonna hurt me quite a bit. It takes like 4 attacks for a man-at-arms to kill a villager, by the way, so it is going to take a while.
Yeah, but before those crossbows actually clear that army, it's gonna take a while as well. So, also the crossbow numbers are also thinning out. The villager numbers are thinning out. So
yeah, they're just 3. The only units that Erik has on the map are just those 3 poor crossbows. On the other side, though, it is gonna be 12 MAAs, 2 warrior monks, and to scouts. Not the biggest number of, not the biggest army in the world, honestly, for Vortix, to be frank, but it is enough to just kind of at least keep those crossbows busy and keep those villages back in the TC. That's what he needs to do.
Absolutely, and with the the villagers idle, there are no crossbowmen that Erik can actually produce. So it's gonna be it's gonna be 3 crossbows, and that's it.
Yeah.
So that's a GG right there. That's a complete overwhelm.
And the villager numbers are very low as well. He can't produce because he has no food. It's just gonna...
You can see the gather point of those barracks in the middle of Erik's base, actually.
Yeah.
That hurts so much to see it, actually.
Yeah, it's here. Actually, no. Vortix is... Yeah, Vortix moves it to the middle again. This guy just doesn't give a damn. I think he just doesn't give a damn right now. He knows he has won. He has so much. He can just kind of keep producing units. And I do believe he still has enough to kind of keep going with the kind of, you know, getting a bank going for himself. I would like to see him probably just go for like some sort of a ram push, because he has so much wood, he can build like 4 rams essentially. And that will be probably the end of Erik.
Absolutely. Oh, no, don't tell me he's gonna BM with a relic. No, Vortix, oh no, why would you do that? Oh, okay, he's gonna get a conversion probably.
Yeah, on a single villager. Congratulations.
This is just a BM, I think, at this point.
Yeah,
really.
It's like Erik knows he's done for. And he does step out. It is 1-0 for Vortix. It was a cool game. You have to say, like, this was very nicely played, but I think this is kind of the new way to play the rules, and yeah, it was just super well handled by Vortix.
Absolutely. Erik, I think not going for the professional scouts is a mistake.
Yeah, I think you still have to do this.
You're absolutely allowing the opponent to get that free food